WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelberg comes out and denies what we all see. All of us see it. The players see it. The coaches see it. The fans see it. The damn parking lot attendants that's standing outside of the venues that's not even in the arenas can see it. That there's a major referee issue with the WNBA.
Now, we know WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelberg pretty much is not a fan favorite. She's been quiet in most parts. She's looked upon as being a fraud. And quite frankly, people was asking for her to step down, bro.
Accordingly, effective immediately, I am banned.
One sentence altered everything. I'm banning Brittney Griner from the WNBA with immediate effect. In an instant, she was gone, straight from Adam Silver. There was not a whisper before to the incident. The entire league just froze. This was hardly an unexpected development, though. Not at all. Months earlier, Griner was caught on camera chasing Caitlin Clark, slinging elbows, shouting profanity, and making aggressive attempts to break her. Remember to subscribe to the channel and use the like button if you're enjoying this video. Remarkably, more than 90% of our readers are still not subscribers. It only takes a second to subscribe, is totally free, and helps us make more films like this. Have you signed up yet? If so, we sincerely thank you for your support. Let's return to the video now. You could feel the anxiety. Everyone saw it. But Caitlin did not move. She hooped, took the blows, kept broiling defenders, and remained composed. After that, Griner fouled out. "You don't frighten me," Caitlin answered simply, meeting her gaze. Everything became completely upside down at that time. Because Griner might not be the only problem. Maybe someone more powerful is in command. Kathy Engelberg. Her name keeps popping up behind the turmoil, the drama, and the quiet. Moreover, a deeper look indicates that this is more than a band. It looks like a cover-up. Let's take it one piece at a time. The sports world gasped when NBA Commissioner and former WNBA crisis manager Adam Silver unexpectedly entered a press conference and revealed the news. Brittney Griner was banned from the league right away. Supporters expected a hefty suspension, a fine, and a lifetime ban. Here, there was more going on. Silver did not merely use Griner as an illustration. His message was crystal obvious. Corruption will not be tolerated. But it wasn't just what she did. The real question was why now? Griner has been the face of the WNBA for nearly 10 years. She is an Olympic winner, a frequent all-star, and the first female player in decades to consistently dunk in games. However, there was neither a warning nor a farewell. Silver was straightforward and thoughtful in her speech. Behaviors that compromise the game's integrity have no so what did they do? A thorough internal investigation that concealed the details was prompted by growing concerns from players, coaches, and the media. Match tampering, abuse of influence, and behind-the-scenes manipulation were among the alleged years of malfeasance it revealed. But even after Silver dropped the hammer, fans couldn't get rid of the sense that there was more. Because the woman who should have ended this long ago was excluded. Kathy Engelberg. A more severe reality behind Griner's public persona endorsements, appearances, and highlight clips, reality boiled. Unethical manipulative tendencies were exposed by the league's internal inquiry. Games were not just skewed, they were steered. According to reports, Griner was involved in unauthorized events that caused controversy, conversations with officials, and deceptive tactics. According to insiders, when postseason races were close, her team regularly profited from the right decisions made at the right times. Is that just a coincidence? It wasn't, Silver's investigation showed. A top insider claims that Griner's close circle had access to confidential data, such as referee assignments and scouting reports. Additionally, they suggested that she had sway over league workers, possibly due to shared management ties. But none of this was new. For years, there had been rumors. Why, therefore, did the WNBA not act sooner? Simple. Griner was too valuable. Her name was all over the place. Sponsors were drawn to her. The league used her as a public relations shield during poor seasons. And now that the WNBA was finally becoming more popular, the storm she brought was too much for anyone to handle. Her behavior wasn't the sole cause of the suspension up until this point. It was about everything that the league failed to monitor. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert then shines brightly. Because Griner received it from someone if she held a position of authority. Brittney Gurrier's career reads like a basketball fairy tale right up until the very end. At one point, she was hailed as the WNBA's savior. She won Olympic gold with Team USA, had viral dunks, and blocked shots with authority when she was at her best. She was a special unicorn in a league searching for meaning, and she was more than just commanding. The endorsements came pouring in. She became a global face for Nike, led youth clinics, and competed internationally for the league. She was the W's most marketable person until she turned into its worst liability. Beneath the surface, the fissures were already starting to show. Reports of altercations with referees, disputes with teammates, and disrespect for team regulations. On and off the field, Griner had begun to cause problems. But the league looked aside. Why? Because she had been profitable up until that moment. The last years were unpleasant. Whispers turned into leaks. Suspicious game trends were noticed by the media. The inquiry came next. Once the proof, audio recordings, text messages, and first-hand experiences were revealed, the tale could not be salvaged. She had to be released by the league. But here's the issue. Stars don't fall on their own. Systems protect and elevate them. That system was called Kathy Engelbert in Gurrier's case. The details of the probe resembled those of a sports thriller. Anonymous tips, leaked emails, and testimony from whistleblowers. According to league insiders, investigators found unmistakable links between Griner and dubious refereeing techniques, especially in high-stakes games. Griner was using text threads to discuss specific referees by name. Plotting matchups and assignments were the subjects of her complaints. The most incriminating of all was the second recording, which was captured during a stressful post-game moment and allegedly showed Griner urging an official to control the whistle in order to secure the seed. That wasn't just trash talk. The tournament itself was manipulated in that way. According to Silver's investigation, Griner allegedly had the ear of multiple executives and referees inside a network of favoritism. The effects were immediately felt. Officials were suspended, and league executives were secretly dismissed. Gurrier's name became radioactive all of a sudden. But the investigation also raised another question. How long did this last? Who knew? It turns out to be more than a few. And one of them held the highest authority in the WNBA. More than just a briefing was given to Engelbert. She was warned all the time. She chose to remain silent. The moment Silver brought up the tapes, everything changed. The charges against Griner may have been written off as coincidences, hearsay, or even envy up to that point. Real voice recordings, however, constitute evidence rather than speculation. At least 2 significant audio clips are available to league authorities, based on multiple insiders. One is allegedly from a discussion in the locker room, while the other is from a conversation between Griner and a referee in the post-game hallway. On the tapes, Griner can be heard advocating for momentum swings, asking why calls weren't going her way, and even suggesting that certain players be placed on watch. It shook even the most loyal league workers. Sources claim that Silver personally inspected the clips. He immediately responded. The evidence was indisputable. Instead of just breaching the law, Griner was re-engineering outcomes. There was no more discussion, appeals, or public relations strategy after it was revealed, just the hammer. These recordings, however, raise a more significant problem. Who enabled this degree of access and influence? Referees are not permitted to have private conversations with players. This was not a singular occurrence. A pattern emerged. Furthermore, patterns don't happen discreetly unless someone higher up is covering for them. All the signs were pointing up the chain now. To Kathy Engelbert directly. Kathy Engelbert's top aim was to maintain the integrity of the game. Not just the players or the logos, but the sport itself. At what point did she forget that? Insiders claim that Engelbert knew of Gurrier's grievances for almost 2 years. Headed directly to the league offices to voice their concerns. Anonymous staff workers spoke about suspicious backroom activity and odd phone calls. Official reports were even flagged by internal compliance systems. However, nothing happened. Reports state that Engelbert either disregarded the issues or redirected them via internal processes. Some claim that she purposefully shielded Griner from criticism to safeguard the league's reputation. Why would she behave that way? Simple money. Gurrier was a well-known figure and a popular attraction that the WNBA could market. Engelbert had focused her leadership on elevating league notoriety, therefore she needed Gurrier as a symbol of success even at the cost of accountability. But that risk failed disastrously. Now that the inquiry is complete and the tapes are public, Engelbert can no longer hide behind PR spin. She is mentioned in reports. Her silence has become cooperation. As Gurrier's fan makes headlines, supporters, athletes, and reporters are demanding that Engelbert be the next to go. Because in any real scandal, both the offender and the person who permitted it to happen are equally at fault. Kathy Engelbert is under a lot of stress. A major league crisis has arisen from what began as player speculations. Silver was successful in getting Gurrier suspended, but the commissioner is now the target of supporters' demands. Engelbert is more than just irresponsible, according to his detractors. They say she orchestrated the silence. Engelbert reportedly had access to early versions of the tapes and reports detailing Griner's off-court power struggles and referee bias, according to many stories. Some claim that she stopped people from asking follow-up questions. Others assert that she instructed the legal staff to let it go unless there was a media frenzy. It's the firestorm. The fact that Silver assumed command of the disciplinary process, which was normally Engelbert's responsibility, is telling. It demonstrates that the NBA no longer believes in the partnership. It's uncommon and unheard of, and it suggests that the league doesn't trust Engelbert to lead the cleanup. Sponsors are reportedly uncomfortable. Some have halted negotiations, and worst of all, players are voicing their opinions. Engelbert's resignation is demanded by trending hashtags. Sports programs are receiving calls from former athletes demanding transparency. Behind the scenes, rookie stars like Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark are reportedly furious. Engelbert may have fostered corruption rather than almost failed to stop it, thus this is a reckoning, not just a scandal. Additionally, the WNBA may not survive if she stays in charge. You cannot disclose a superstar if you don't have superstar credibility. For this reason, the help of Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark was essential. They don't sit around doing nothing. They are becoming icons. Caitlin is the most watched rookie in WNBA history. Sophie is among the league's hardest two-way players. When they speak, people pay attention. And their revelations were revolutionary. According to reports, both players participated in private interviews with league investigators. They also didn't hold back. They described incidents where the refereeing quickly altered, resulting in momentum shifts that went against basketball logic. Clark specifically mentioned incidents where defenders were permitted to make contact while her teammates were cautioned for minor touches. Cunningham claimed that because Gurrier's team felt that games were staged, it was like climbing uphill with refs in the way. But the real blow came from the audio that was played during their testimony. Clark apparently said that this was going on the entire time that he heard Gurrier's voice urging the referees. In that moment, any benefit of the doubt was eliminated. If Clark and Cunningham hadn't come forward, Silver might not have taken any action. Their courage turned personal knowledge into a public disaster. In addition to their gameplay, both players are today hailed as heroes for preserving the league's essence. But standing up had consequences, especially for Clark. The league she saved didn't exactly provide her with protection in exchange. Just when it didn't seem conceivable, the Gurrier saga got deeper. Claims about Gurrier's gender identity and a possible long-term WNBA cover-up are the most controversial turn of all. It's not comfortable. It's sensitive, but it's the main topic of conversation right now. Rumors about Gurrier's biological makeup have been circulating on the outskirts of the sports world for years. However, according to league insiders, new documents that surfaced during the investigation would suggest that Engelbert and her team chose to hide private correspondence, internal memos, and medical records because they were aware of any eligibility concerns. According to the allegation, Engelbert feared that revealing such information would spark public outrage, weaken league momentum, and potentially result in Title IX legal scrutiny. Thus, it seems that the league chose to remain silent rather than be transparent. Since Gurrier was outlawed, these rumors have received a lot of attention, and the repercussions are real. Fans are questioning fairness. Players are wondering what else has been hidden, and sponsors are pulling back, unsure of the full scope of the fraud. Let's be clear, gender identity should never be used as a weapon. League leadership secrecy, on the other hand, is a whole other story. Because if Angel Burt prioritized brand over reality, even at the sacrifice of player confidence and public transparency, this controversy extends far beyond Guria. It becomes a betrayal of all the league claims to stand for. The moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto a WNBA court, something didn't feel quite right. It was anticipated that she would be the league's golden child, the savior, the rookie who would increase viewership, maintain ticket sales, and elevate the women's game. She did so in numerous ways. There are sold-out jerseys, crowded venues, and viral moments every night.